Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Book Chat at Paynton Library, where we talk all things book related. I'm your host Amy, and this week we're joined by Lisa as we delve into the fantastical world of Romantasy. So, hello Lisa.
Hello Amy.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
First things first, what is Romantasy?
Big question.
I don't like to start small.
So Romantasy is a nice mix between romance and fantasy, Romantasy.
Mm-hmm.
It was coined in the Urban Dictionary in 2008, but it didn't kind of gain traction until probably about 2021-22 with Book Talk. So Book Talk made it go big, and now it's kind of more of a well-known thing. And we don't have the Romantasy section in the library at the moment.
No,
we've got
something you're working on.
Well, that would be good. I think we're getting there. We've got a lot more books coming in, which is great. But yeah, it's kind of a genre for me that I found. In the last kind of couple of years, and I have my obsessions, and it was crime, but now it's definitely Romantasy.
Romantasy, so that's your new favourite.
It is my new favourite.
Your new favourite. Fantastic. So what was the first book then that you sort of read that drew you into this romantasy? Because it's like a merged genre.
Yes.
Really. So what was the first?
So I think the first one, it probably wasn't even classed as a romantasy at the time. It was True Blood. Right. So I'm a huge vampire fan. So I watched the first series of the True Blood on TV, and I thought it was great. So I went out and I bought every single book that Charlaine Harris had written. So I read all of the True Blood series that was out at the time. Back to back, and absolutely just completely fell in love with the characters and stories and her writing in general. I have now read every single book that Charlaine Harris has ever written. Yes.
Not
bit
obsessive.
Of a fan. No, not obsessive at all. No. But yeah, I don't know if it was technically classed as a romantasy then, but I think it probably would be now.
Now, yeah. So it's quite interesting because I'm really new to the genre. And some of the books I've read have been recommended by you. But the first one that I really read was A Discovery of Witches from the All Souls trilogy. But like you, I discovered that through the TV show.
Yeah.
And watching the TV show and thinking, ooh, I like this. And then I read the books, and as always with any adaptation, the books contain so much more than any adaptation possibly ever could. Yeah. But yes, it's quite interesting that route through for both of us has gone through.
And yours is vampires as well.
Yes,
although it's called Discovery.
Witches. There are witches and vampires and demons, but the demons don't seem to do an awful lot in it, to be honest, unless I've missed something.
So True Blood's similar. There's also demons and werewolves, and there's fairies and things like that. So it kind of branches out.
Yes. So my question to you is, when did vampires become sexy?
Ooh, that is a very good question. I would say Dracula. Maybe Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Everybody's entry point to vampires, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes. Well, for me, it was more Interview with a Vampire. I absolutely loved Interview with a Vampire.
But did you approach that from the book or from the film?
It was from the film.
Yeah,
it was from the film. So my books was obviously True Blood would be my first real love of vampire books. Yes, but obviously Bram Stoker's Dracula is obviously a big part of
big part. Well, I have some interesting vampire facts for you.
Brilliant. Hit me with them.
So let's see, what have we got? So the first known mention of a vampire apparently is from a short German poem called The Vampire, bizarrely, which was it was written in 1748 by, now I'm going to get the pronunciation of this name wrong, Heinrich August Ossenfelder. And even at that point, so in 1748, it had hints of the erotic to it. Yes. I think it's quite, when it comes to sort of Bram Stoker's Dracula and the 19th century view of vampires, it's all very gothic, isn't it? Like that Victorian gothic
it is,
and everything. So I don't know. I mean, I haven't read Bram Stoker's Dracula for years,
No,
so
same.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's an element of the romance about it.
I think so, yeah. It's probably more classed as horror, I would say.
Yeah. When it was published, it was certainly classed as a horror novel with elements of fantasy, but
but you can definitely, like, looking back, you can definitely feel kind of like the gothic romance to it.
And the idea of the vampire being this otherworldly sort of attractive symbol.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. But so in the 20th century, late 20th century, so I suppose with Interview with a Vampire, which was 1976, you had that move into that romanticized vampire. And then you get the 21st century, and we move on to, which is a very controversial vampire topic, is the Twilight Saga.
I thought you might be going there.
Now, to my taste, I'm not a fan. I have read them, and I have seen the films as well. I'm not a fan, and I really don't understand why vampires sparkle.
No.
But the 21st century vampire seems to be less about the monstrous.
Yes.
And more the romanticized.
Yes, figure. I think so, yes.
And I suppose that leads into what you were saying about the origins of Romantasy and how it started and everything.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think that like I said, we've kind of moved quite far onwards now. So I think, but you could potentially say that it started with like vampires and werewolves and things like that. And now it's kind of blossomed into a really interesting kind of mix of characters and creatures. So I know that creature romance is kind of a big thing now. So I've got a couple of examples for you.
Marvellous.
So the examples I have, we have The Pisces, which is by Melissa Broder. Can you guess what the Pisces might be, what creature it might be?
Oh, is it a mermaid? Merman?
Yes, it's a merman.
A merman.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yes, so it's about a
going very generic and sexist there, yes.
But it's about a woman who falls for a sea creature. So
okay.
I read it myself, but it does make me kind of think of The Shape of Water.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, where she kind of falls for a fish person.
And again, that's got a bit of a gothic-y, that film's got a very gothic-y twist.
Yes, it does.
And feel to it.
Yeah. So that's mermen.
Yep.
So
I feel like I should be writing these down. Mermen, check.
And the one I have read is Thea Guanzon, and it's Tusk Love.
Okay.
And that is, can you guess what Tusk Love could be?
I really don't want to guess. You have to tell me. All sorts of weird things are going through my head right now.
It's got a bit of a D&D feel. So it's an orc.
An orc?
Half orc. So
half
again,
orc.
It's a woman and a half orc.
Are we talking orcs as in like orcs from Lord of the Rings?
Kind of. So he's
pretty grotesque.
So no, he's not quite like, because he's,
okay.
Yeah, so he's got kind of a slightly more sage kind of greeny skin. He has got the tusks, but he's like referred to as like beautiful beautiful black hair, and yes, obviously a larger stature, and so I really enjoyed Tusk Love. I thought it was really, really well written and really fun. Another one is Katie Robert, and it's The Dragon's Bride. I don't think, I'm not going to make you guess that one.
Dragons, maybe dragons.
And I haven't read that one, but it is another example of creature genre kind of expanding. So yeah,
that's very interesting.
I'm not sure I personally would want to date a dragon, but
fiery temper, I would imagine. Yes. So I don't have any dragon facts for you, but I could pop you out a little werewolf fact if you'd like one.
Yes, I'd love a werewolf fact.
From what I've seen on like sort of TikTok and like Facebook Reels, things like that, is a lot of sort of werewolf, and it's all the trope of the alpha male and his lunar and fated mates and things like that. Yeah. And I've not read any werewolf vampires, but werewolves, not so much. So I did a little bit of researching into to werewolves, and werewolves were first mentioned in ancient Greek and Roman literary works. books, which I did not know, by the likes of Herodotus and Pliny the Elder. So if you know your ancient Greeks and ancient Romans, then you can go and look that up. But the first werewolf story known to be written by a woman was in 1846, and it was called, we like to keep our titles simple, A Story of a Werewolf by Catherine Crowe. But they were spelling were, W-E-I-R.
Oh, okay.
Which I noticed with vampires as well. In a lot of 18th century and 19th century literature with vampires, vampire was spelt with a Y, not an I.
I did know that one.
Spelling, very interesting.
So was there any like themes of romance in that one? Or is
No.
It? No.
They're not real. So we've covered like the creatures and vampires, which I suppose everybody would associate romantasy. Vampires would be the top one. Yeah. But of course, one of the books that really came out of the book talk revolution of romantasy, and we have to talk about it, is Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas.
Yes.
Because that has been immensely popular. It's taken over. It took over TikTok for, well, at least 12 months, I'm sure.
So I haven't actually read it. So
I read it, and I have to say that I struggled through it. I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, see, this is why I haven't read it, because it's one of those books that's like, it had so much hype and so many people were like, you need to read it. So then when I found people that I knew, closer friends that have read it, and they've said the same thing, they've said, it was okay. So I don't know whether it's like we both read a lot. So I don't know. Do you think maybe that was it? That because we've read such a huge like range of books, that maybe this is more of a book for like beginner, like people like
entry level to romantasy. Quite possibly. Yeah. I think for me, I didn't connect with the characters, and if you don't connect with the characters, you don't care. So it doesn't matter how good the writing is or the story is or what have you. I didn't personally connect with the characters, so I really didn't care about their journey.
That definitely makes it difficult when you're reading.
But it has been an absolute phenomenon. I mean, apparently it has sold, the first book alone, so it's a whole series. And just that first book, Court of Thorns and Roses, has sold over 13 million copies.
Wow.
And it's not been out that long.
No, it hasn't. That's really impressive.
To be fair, I mean, she's a prolific writer. I mean, that series isn't the only romantasy series she's got. So personally, I might try one of her other series and start them from the...
I had something similar with the Shadow and Bone series.
Yes.
So I tried to read Shadow and Bone and I struggled with it. Like you said, I didn't really connect with the characters very much, so I gave up. And then I read Six of Crows, and this is Leigh Bardugo, and I absolutely adored it. I thought it was incredible. It was one of my favourite books. And then I went back. So maybe that would kind of help. So like once I went back to Shadow of Bone series, I enjoyed it more. You
enjoyed it more.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it is maybe you just need to kind of get into her writing style first and then go back maybe.
So if you came into the library today and you wanted some romantasy, where would you look?
So I would go to fantasy.
Okay.
And then we do have some in the general section as well. But I know we've both read one that we both really enjoyed, and I think that's in the fantasy section, which is the Assistant to the Villain.
Loved that.
Yes,
that was marvelous.
It was, and that's Nicole Maehrer.
Yes,
yes, and we both really enjoyed that. Didn't we?
And there's 3.
This one that I did want to mention that I read and you tried to read, and I was really surprised that you didn't like it as much as I did, which is The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, which I thought was brilliant. And I was reading it in the staff room on lunch break, and I laughed out loud and disturbed everybody else that was eating their lunch, because we're very typical librarians and we sit in silence and read our books.
We don't talk to anybody on our lunch. We just like to read our books.
We do, yeah. But yeah, I actually literally burst out laughing. I laughed out loud while I was reading it, and I had to put the book down to stop myself from crying. And I don't think you got to this point in the book, and I was so disappointed because I really wanted to talk to you about this point. I clearly didn't.
I feel like I've done you a disservice, and I should try again. There are the overlaps which I've gone into, which are romantasy, but also historical. So that's sort of a whole nother conversation, but it's not just its own little sort of subgenre.
Yeah.
It branches out into others. So sort of like what we would put in our historical section of the library would be books that have been written around characters from Greek mythology.
Yes. Yeah.
And then these stories have been elaborated on or expanded or what have you. But they also then have that romantasy.
Yes.
And the main one I'm thinking of that we've both read is Lies We Sing to the Sea.
Yes.
Yes. That is romantasy.
Yeah.
But it's also based in and around Greek mythology.
Yes. Yeah.
So it does skew off, so you don't find yourself just in this, I'm just reading about
the same thing over and over again.
Vampire romance, werewolf romance.
Yeah, exactly.
It will lead you off, and it can lead you in directions of other forms of literature, other genres of literature that you hadn't.
Yes. Yeah, I've read lots of different, like I said, we've got the creature books, but then like we've read like villain books, and then another book that I've read, which is which I would still class as romantasy, is kind of more humanized. It's about a social worker that goes to an island and helps he doesn't start by helping. He goes to inspect a children's home full of magical beings, and that was a really interesting one as well. And don't worry, he doesn't fall for a child.
Thank God for that.
No, he ends up falling for the homeowner. So yeah, and that one is T.J. Klune.
Well remembered.
And yeah, that's a really, really lovely one, and that's kind of a bit different as well because it's two men instead of like the typical male-female relationship. So yeah, that's a really, really good one as well. And it was one that I kind of just googled it, just like cute books or happy books, and it came up, and it is called the second one's called Somewhere Beyond the Sea. I can't remember what the first one's called. We might just have to put a picture up of it because I can't think what it's called.
We've told you the author. Look it up yourself. So, what's your next read, Lisa?
So the book that I'm reading at the moment is Tainted Cup, which is it's a fantasy book. It has a little bit of elements of romance in it, but the next romantasy that I will be reading is The Moth and the Night.
Okay.
Yes, and again, it's had very good recommendations, so I'm quite looking forward to reading that one. That I don't know that much about it, so it's going to be. I've gone in with it as a recommendation, so I will hopefully enjoy
that's
it.
The best way. Yeah. You know nothing about it, just recommendation. Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
If you have any romantasy recommendations, you can pop them in the comments, or any questions you want to ask a librarian, again, pop them in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this, please like and share, and join us next time on the book chat.